We have just started telling the Mahabharata story yesterday and outlined the story very briefly. Now let us get into the proper Mahabharata. We said that the whole epic is divided into 18 major divisions called Parvas. The first Parva is called Adi Parva, and that is divided into sub-Parvas, and the first one is called Sambhava Parva, meaning the story behind the birth of each of the main characters. And in that, we start with the birth of Vedavyasa, who wrote this Mahabharata story. We start with Parashara, the father of Vedavyasa. Parashara was a great saint who spent his time all the time in penance. He lived in forest, as was the custom, and he was doing penance, tapasya, all the time. Once it so happened that he wanted to cross river Ganga, which was near the forest where he was doing penance. The English word penance is not right to convey the meaning of tapasya in Sanskrit. Tapasya actually means it is not as penance for anything, but simply meditating on the one God and concentrating on Him. We can say roughly that is tapasya. That is supposed to generate heat, and that is why it is called tapa, which means heating up. Here it is not physically the body which is heated up, but the thought. So he was trying to cross the river Ganga, and on one shore the boat was stationed, and there was a beautiful maiden who was at the helm with the oars. Her name was Satyavati. She was the daughter of the fisherman's king, and she was waiting for people to enter the boat. And seeing her, Parashara's desire for her grew up. He decided that he must get into an affair with Satyavati, and he got, as the first person, he entered the boat as the first person and immediately said, "Look, don't take any more passengers. I want to go alone. I'm an old man, and I'm afraid the boat will turn upside down if more people enter. So please take me across quickly and don't take anybody else. This is my demand as a sage." And Satyavati couldn't refuse, because the people who do long time penance, they develop an aura which become irresistible for others. And the boat started moving. She told the people waiting, "Just wait a few minutes. I'll go take this person across and come back quickly." As soon as the boat left, Parashara told her about his desire. Said, "Look, you accept me. I want to have an affair with you. And Satyavati said, Maharshi, that is how these sages are addressed. Maharshi, that's impossible. There are people watching on both sides of the river. How can I accept you when everybody is watching? Then Parashara said, don't worry, I'll take care of that. And he, with his penance, it is said that long years of penance give the sages lots of powers over the physical world. And with his power, he created dense fog to develop so that it was almost dark. People couldn't see even one another, let alone the boat which was on the river. And Satyavati knew that nobody will see them. But she again objected, look, Maharshi, please have pity on me. I am a maiden. My father will find a suitable husband for me, and I want to go as a virgin. That is a custom. And Maharshi said, oh, don't worry, I will take care of that. And he gave her the boon that even having an affair, even if she got pregnant and even if she delivered a child, she will remain a virgin. Her virginity will be intact. So that objection was also discarded. But then again she said, we are in the middle of the river, and how can we have a relationship right in the boat when it is on water? So Maharshi said, all right, I will take care of that also. And with his power, he caused a sand bed to come under the boat to support the boat so that it stuck on sand. So Satyavati couldn't object anymore. But finally she said, look, I am a fisherman's daughter. I am born out of the belly of a fish. That's what my father told me. And from my childhood days, ever since I remember, I have this evil smell, the smell of fish, this odor of fish in my body. So, I don't like men to approach me. And Parashara again said, all right, then let your evil smell disappear and let sweet scent come to you. From today onwards, you will smell sweet. And that also happened as the Maharshi blessed. And then they had an affair. By the time by the boat reached the other side, Satyavati was pregnant. Not only that, the pregnancy developed, and she delivered a male child immediately. Not even that. Before they reached the other side, the child also grew up to his youth. These are all the powers of sages who do long years of penance. And as soon as they reached the other side, Parashara, the sage, said, look, I am a sage and my duty is to do penance. So I take leave, I go retire to forest. And he went away. And the newborn boy, who was called Krishna because he was dark in complexion, and he was also called Dvaipayana. Dvipa means an islet, an island or an islet in Sanskrit. And one born on an islet is Dvaipayana. So he was known as Krishna Dvaipayana ever since birth. And Krishna Dvaipayana also told his mother, I should also leave. I don't want to live in this world in the usual, what is it called, in the usual style. I want to spend my time in penance. But only thing, whenever you want me, just think of me. I will appear before you and do my best to do whatever you want. And he also retired to forest. This Krishna Dvaipayana was a man of extraordinary caliber. He was a great thinker, a great poet, and he had all the quality of a prolific writer. The first thing he attempted was Vedas at that time, which were the storehouse of ancient Indian wisdom. All the ancient essential wisdom, they were stored into Vedas, and they were one big mass, which was so huge that no human being could master them in one's lifetime. So that became an obstacle. Brahmins especially, actually Brahmins, Kshatriyas and Vaishya, all the three castes, they were supposed to learn Vedas during their childhood days, before they become males, adults. And his first work was to divide the Vedas into 4, depending upon the content and depending upon the use to which they were put in religious contexts. They were called Rik, Yajus, Sama and Atharva. So these 4 Vedas were divided by Vedavyasa, and because of that he was known as Veda Vyasa, the one who divided the Vedas. And that name stuck. People always knew him as Vedavyasa and not through his given name. And then Vedavyasa started writing what are called Puranas, which are legends with a proper structure, and which are stories, divine stories, centered around divinities like Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, etc. And they contain lots of other information which lead to the understanding of dharma or the right living. And he also wrote a monumental work called Brahma Sutra, which we shall explain later on. And that was Vedavyasa wrote these 18 Mahapuranas, and he also wrote what is called an Itihasa, and which is named Bharata, the story we are telling now. So we shall continue with the story tomorrow with further development. Namaskaram.